Sports. It's in the game.
This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming your way. Well, here we are at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club. We're located along the St. Johns River in the Sunshine State, Florida. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. Frank, what stands out when you look at the Wetlands?
The swampland, the gators, really it's a good driving golf course, Rich. Not a lot of fairway bunkers in play here at Wetlands, but if you drive the ball well here, you really can get a good score out here at Wetlands. They play the web.com here every now and again, so we've seen some good scores over the years, but always fun to be playing in Florida. Sun on your back, warm golf conditions.
Strong opening hole here at the Wetlands, par 5 of 660 yards. And if you get going the wrong way, partner, you might have some alligators nipping at your heels.
It's as hard an opening hole as what you'll find, especially in Floridian golf. Two good shots just to set up a third. That's the simplistic way of looking at this par 5. Really, you try and get too over-ambitious here. There's a pond to the right. There's bunkers in the layup area. Really have to keep your wits about you on this opening hole. 5 is not a bad score here at all. Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Slight waggle, relaxed arms, ready to go. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. On to the second hole, par 3 of 225 yards. Good hole, Frank.
It certainly is, and the two bunkers, one left and one right, they remind you where not to go, but they don't really encroach on the green. So stay with a positive attitude on that tee, and you'll find that green is plenty big enough.
So on the putting surface, and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
How about this? Birdies at 1 and 2. We could be in for something pretty special today. We're at the third hole now at the Wetlands. It's a par 4, 460 yards. Frank, you watched the web.com tour event down here, and what'd you see when the young bombers came to this hole?
Oh, this is a hole they just love, Rich. You know, it's flat, it's long, and it's straight, so they just tee it up, aim it straight at the green, hit it as hard as they can. And some of these guys were just going in with an 8 or a 9 iron. It's quite amazing. And of course, when you go with an 8 or a 9 iron to this hole, you look at 3 more often than not.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Steady all day long. That one about 20 feet away. He'll settle. Frank, 2 is nice, but
3 is even better.
that is a cross-country putt right there.
Up and over the ridge. That's a seagull.
Wow, check this out, Frank. Par 3 fourth, 250 yards. This is a really cool hole.
It is. You tee off and that tee shot right across the swampland into a crescent-shaped green. And, of course, it is protected by that bunker that just cuts in. It doesn't give you very much depth on that middle line of the green. So if the pin's in the middle, that's when the hole plays its most difficult.
Outstanding strike right there, right off the center of the club face, and a good chance for birdie. These putts keep the round together. Drops another birdie and moves to 4 under on the day. Good look now at the 5th hole here at the Wetlands, par 5, and it's a good one, 635 yards. This could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it.
Well, those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. Nice position, short grass, second shot.
That's an absolute beauty.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Frank, how impressive is this performance so far?
You've got to tip your hat. Really just played good from the first hole on. Rhythm is good. Hit a lot of good shots. Very smart decision making as well. Rich, I'm starting to lose count. This is just birdie after birdie.
It's all-time stuff. I mean, this is territory we just don't visit very often. How about this little move? 5 under par now, and 2 straight birdies. On to the par 4 sixth here at the Wetlands. And Frank, how does that water factor into the way you play this hole?
It bisects this fairway beautifully, Rich. 233 yards to the run out on the first section of fairway. And that might be worth considering for the short hitters. To try and flash it across the narrowest part of those wetlands, 276 yards. And of course, the more horsepower you got, actually the easier this tee shot becomes.
Frank, getting set for this approach shot, our featured golfer is a player, it's obvious, in full flight right now.
It is. This is where it doesn't matter what the sport is, and golf is a great example for it, though, where when you play your best, it's almost like you're just playing out of your subconscious. Everything happens, it just flows, and you don't really think about it. No, there can't be. 6 in a row?
This would be 6 in a row. Starting to put something special together. 6 under par. Frank, now we get a crack at another par 5. The 7th is 592 yards.
And certainly reachable, especially with a tee shot that follows the shape of this fairway, which is slightly to the left. Good tee shot, you can get home. And those bunkers, if anything, are nicely placed on that left side of the green, actually to protect a shot that goes too far or too left.
Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Can't ask for much more here at the 7th. He has hit a good one. Frankie's cranking it and banking it. Giant drives, a boatload of birdies. What a round.
Yeah, these are the days you just dream for. We know golf's not that easy, but on a day like today, savor it and just keep going. Keep doing it.
I like the looks of this one. And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Just has the feel today. On to the 8th. It's a par 3, 203 yards. What's going on here, Frank?
Interesting par 3, really. It looks anything other than a straightaway hole. That bunker short of this green gives you like an optical illusion. You think it's lapping up with the front of this green, but there's actually sort of 3 or 4 yards before you get to the putting surface. A little bit of a drop off behind this green, and it narrows out the deeper the green gets. So a tricky little par 3.
What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
That incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Clean this up with a tap. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. The 9th hole, Frank, is a muscular par 5, 621 yards.
You see why length is a huge advantage of this golf course, just under 7,700 yards. This hole here, another example, good tee shot, perhaps think of going for the par 5 and 2, but great collection of 3 bunkers that sort of annoy you with your layup there. Got to make sure you avoid all of those to leave yourself a nice little wedge shot in here if you can't reach it in 2.
Playing his second shot here at the par 5.
What a great shot.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from that.
So, third shot now for Rory McIlroy. Sensational shot right there, Frank.
Oh, you start beating your chest after a shot like that. That's the best we've seen into this hole to date.
Starting to heat up now. Back-to-back birdies. Well done. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Good swing, good shot yet again. That is a really good shot landing close to the flagstick. Frank, this would jumpstart the round. A third straight birdie.
Some good playing.
Rolling the rock, Frank.
Oh, and yet another birdie, Rich. Beautiful stroke.
Par 4 11th hole, 443 yards. Frank, what's the best way to play it?
Nice straight drive off the tee, then really reduces this par 4 to size. Then those bunkers short and left don't really cause an issue. Green's a little tiny though, but even if you miss that green a little bit on the right side, it's a relatively simple chip.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Getting set now over the putt.
Can't birdie them all, Rich.
He has this for par. In for par. Stepping up to the tee at the first par 5 on this back nine. It's the 12th, and it is 576 yards.
Yeah, this hole bends to the right, opposite direction to what 11 does. A good tee shot, and you can actually think about reaching this par 5 and 2, but anything around the front or front left, still going to leave a relatively simple pitch shot. So when you stand on that tee, think of birdie at least here.
Good tee shot right in the fairway and plenty long. And from the fairway for his second shot here. Oh, bring the hammer, why don't you? Setting up an eagle opportunity. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Knocking down all the shots today, now 13 under. Now the par 4 13. Frank, what are the options here?
Well, another straight one required here, Rich. It's 450. It's not overly long in today's standard, but still, that fairway widens up where the longer hitters will actually hit. And bunkers, once again, short of a green. So as long as you can fly that second shot to at least the front of the green, then they really do not come into play.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up. You can bring it in high. You can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That is superbly executed inside of 5 feet. Just a sensational approach shot. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Just playing great. 14 under already. Moving on to the tricky 14th here at the Wetlands. It's 204 yards, but there is plenty of trouble out there.
This looks like it's heading for the bunker.
Not what he wanted, but he's headed to the beach. Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. Great professionals, Frank, they don't fear the green side bunker shot, do they?
No, because you can be as aggressive or as conservative as you want. You actually have far more options. And you don't have to hit the ball first.
You see that kind of work from the bunker, you think of the greats like Seve Ballesteros and Gary Player, the best bunker players of all time. Workman-like hole, he walks away with a par. Stepping up here on the 15th tee at the Wetlands, this is a 590-yard par 5. Frank, did you hear the sound of that coming off the club face?
It was like a cannon.
Those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. Second from an excellent lie.
In the direction of the sand.
Looks like it. He just missed the bunker. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Well, you hate to miss from that distance. We'll make birdie if this drops. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Making our move to the home stretch, the 16th. It's a par 4 and a good one at 455 yards.
And a chance to actually get a good run for the clubhouse because the holes are fairly short coming in. So good drive here. Find the putting surface. Maybe start the roll right here.
Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Now the game's #1 player, Rory McIlroy, ready with his approach.
Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
So a tester from 4 feet. Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Par 3 17th, Frank, it's 238 yards.
There's still a chance for birdie here, though. Green shape's a little bit to the player's right, so a nice high draw coming in here. Even finding the middle of the putting surface will give you a chance to putt to really any position on this green.
Frank, which way is this headed?
Well, judging by his body English, looks like it's heading a little right. There is a bit of green out there, though.
So he's hit it inside 30 feet, not his best, but still a chance.
Yeah, the odd 28-footer, and that's exactly what it is. I've seen a few of those go down.
Might be. Could.
Oh, this is a huge putt. It's in.
Final hole here at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club. It's par 4. It's not a long one, 377 yards. There must be some trouble out there somewhere.
Well, not really if you keep your wits about you. Just position the tee shot. You don't have to hit driver down here. Even a 3-wood's only going to leave a short iron. If you hit your 3-wood 250, 260 yards, do the maths, it's only 120 yards left. With that, with a scoring club, try and get that inside 10, 15 feet. Finish with a birdie.
But if you stray, then what?
Oh, no. We don't think of straying on this hole. This is the last hole. Got to finish well.
But I'm thinking about gators. There gators out there?
Well, there's gator on the menu.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Frank, you think he can do it 4 in a row?
No.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Frank, that was just a dazzling display of golf today.
It's amazing how a game at times that can be so hard and just absolutely drive you crazy can appear to be so simple. This was just an absolute joy to watch today.
So that'll do it for Frank Nobilo and our entire team.